Hello everyone. In this episode of my CapCut tutorial series, I'm gonna show you how to add smooth zooming and panning effects to a video. We are going to edit this video, where we're gonna add zooming in, panning, and zooming out effects or animations to make it look like this. Alright, depending on the type and location of the zooming effects that you want to add to your video, there are 3 ways of adding them in CapCut. You may use either the preset zooming animations or the preset zooming effects, which are both available in the CapCut library. Or you can add your own custom zooming animations by interpolating the scale and the location properties values of the video clip over a set of consecutive frames. For this demo video, I use custom zooming and panning animations, which I'll be explaining later in details. But for the sake of completeness of this tutorial, let me first show you how to add zooming animations using the preset animations and effects. So to add zooming effects using the preset animations, click the target video clip on the timeline to show the clip's properties panel. On the clip properties panel, open the animation tab. Under the animation tab, we have 3 groups of animations: in, out, and combo. The in animations will add the selected animation to the beginning of the clip. Likewise, the out animations will only add an animation to the end of the clip, while the preset combo animations will add animations to both the beginning and end of the clip. We cannot add these preset animations to an arbitrary location in the middle of the video clip. For example, to add a simple zooming in animation to the beginning of this clip, click the In tab, and then simply click the desired zooming in animation. CapCut will automatically add a 0.5 second zooming in animation to the beginning of the clip. And now if you take a closer look at the beginning of this video clip on the timeline, you will see a white line at the bottom of the track. This white line indicates that the clip has an in animation, and the length of the line indicates the duration of the animation. To change the animation duration, go back to the clip's preset in animation panel, and look for the duration property editor at the bottom of the panel. We can either key in the desired duration or use the slider to adjust the duration. We can repeat these steps to add an out or combo animation. To remove the preset animations, we can simply click None at the top left corner of each animation group panel. Alright, so as you could see just now, this preset animation is easy to use but lacks flexibility. The more flexible, yet ready to use option, is adding a zooming effect to the project. To do that, go to the Resource panel menu and click Effects. Then type in Zoom to search for the available zoom effects. As you can see here, CapCut has various types of zooming effects which you can use in your video for free. For this exercise, I'll use this slow zoom effect. To add this effect, first position the playhead at the point where the zooming animation should start. For example, let's make the zooming animation start at the 1 second mark of the video. Then simply click the plus icon on the effect thumbnail. CapCut will automatically add a new track for the zoom effect above the main track. In addition to that, a Special Effects Properties panel will also be shown on the right side of the window. And now before we make any changes to these properties, let's first play the video to see how the resulting zooming animation will look like. Okay, so for this slow zoom effect, with its properties are at their preset values, it will produce a zooming in animation, which zooms the video to a scale factor of about 2 times, to the center of the screen. The zooming in animation lasts for about 1 second, and the zoom state lasts for the length of the effect clip. To fine-tune this effect, first position the playhead over the effect clip where the video is fully zoomed in, and then click the effect clip to show its properties. To change the zoom factor, drag the range slider left or right. To change the zoom location, simply drag the horizontal and vertical sliders left or right. Then to increase the zooming in animation duration, drag the speed slider to the left. And finally, to make the zoom state last for the duration of the video, simply drag the right end of the effect clip to the end of the video clip. And now let's see the resulting effects. Alright, so that's how easy it is to add zooming animation using a zoom effect. While this method offers greater flexibility than the preset animation does, it does have a drawback of adding an extra track to the project. So now we've come to the final method of adding zooming, as well as panning animations, which is custom animation. But before we continue, let's play the demo video one more time. Alright, in principle, an animation is produced by interpolating the values of one or more properties of a set of consecutive frames, based on the initial and the final values of those properties on the start and the end frames respectively. These start and end frames are commonly called the keyframes. To make this concept clearer, let's put it into practice by adding a custom zooming in animation that will begin 1 second into the video. So first, move the playhead to the 1 second mark of the timeline ruler. This frame will be the start keyframe of our zooming in animation. Now click the video clip on the timeline to show its Properties panel. On the Properties panel, show the Video Properties tab, and then click Basic to show the basic video properties. To produce a custom zooming in animation, we will need to interpolate the values of the scale and the position properties over the desired animation's duration. To do that, first click the Add Keyframe button on the right of each property, to add the current frame to both properties, as their keyframe. Once again, this keyframe will become the start keyframe of our custom zooming in animation. And now if you take a closer look at the video clip on the timeline, you will see a diamond-shaped marker at the playhead position. This marker is a keyframe marker, which indicates that the frame at this position is an animation's keyframe. Now if I move the playhead to the right of the marker, and go back to the basic video properties panel, left arrow buttons will appear to the left of the Add Keyframe buttons of the scale and the position properties. If I click any of these two buttons, it will move the playhead to the last keyframe before the current playhead position. Similarly, if I move the playhead to the left of the keyframe marker on the timeline, right arrow buttons will also appear to the right of the Add Keyframe buttons of those two properties. Clicking any of these buttons will cause the playhead to move to the next keyframe after the current playhead position. Alright, the next step is to determine the end keyframe of the animation, which will certainly depend on the desired duration of the animation. For this zooming in animation, I will set the animation's duration to 2 seconds. So now I will move the playhead to the 3-second mark of the timeline ruler. Now go back to the basic video properties panel, and change the scale value to the desired zoom factor. For this exercise, I'll change it to 200%, or a scale factor of 2 times of the normal scale. And as you can see here, the Add Keyframe button turns cyan as I change the scale's value. This means that the current frame has been automatically added to the scale property as another keyframe of that property, which in this case will serve as the end keyframe of our zooming in animation. Now if we look at the video preview, we can see that the video is zoomed in to the center of the frame. To zoom into a particular location on the frame, we need to change the position X and Y values of the zooming in animation's end keyframe. To do that, first make sure that the playhead is at the animation's end keyframe. Then click and drag the frame on the player panel around, until we get the desired zoom location. And as you can see here on the video properties panel, the position X and Y values are automatically updated, and the current frame is also automatically added to the position property as its keyframe. Alright, it's all set for the zooming in animation. Now let's play the video from the beginning to see the result. Okay, I think I'm quite happy with that. So now let's add the panning animation. To add the panning animation, we'll need to interpolate the position X properties value over the desired panning animation duration. We'll also need to add a slight delay between the end of the zooming in and the start of the panning animations, so that the camera motion impression doesn't look too mechanical. So first I'll place the playhead at the 3.5 second mark of the timeline ruler. Then I will add this frame to the position property as the start keyframe of the panning animation. I will make the panning animation last for 6 seconds, so now I will move the playhead to the 9.5 second mark of the timeline ruler. This frame will be the end keyframe of our panning animation, and therefore we'll need to set its position X value to the desired one. To set the position X value of the end keyframe, simply click and drag the frame on the player panel around until we get the desired position. Since we only want to interpolate the position X value, make sure the position Y value is still the same as that on the start keyframe. Now if we play the video from the beginning, we'll get the zooming in and panning effects like this. Alright, to finish off this exercise, let's add a quick zooming out animation 0.5 second after the panning animation. And we'll set its duration to 1 second only. Then we simply set the scale property back to 100% and the position property back to 0. Now let's play the video to see the final result. Alright, so that's how easy it is adding zooming and panning animations in CapCut. I hope you find this tutorial useful, and thank you for watching.